Hey, hello, happy Thursday, everybody. I'm going to just hang out here for a little while and see who pops on. Having posted that we're starting at 12:30. I know it always takes everybody a few minutes to come on. So my name, if you haven't met me before, is Araya. Welcome. We have a lot of new members in the group. Excited about that. I would love to know actually how you found it, if it was through one of the ads that's out there for the Dragonheart program, or if somebody referred you, or you saw a post somewhere else. Hello, I see someone here. Who is it? I can't see who are you. Is that Rosa? Now I've got two viewers already popped on. Go ahead and post a comment so I can see who you are. I'm not sure why it's not showing me, but there's Suzanne. Hi Suzanne, nice to see you. And two others. I wonder why it doesn't show me those two. I'm guessing it's Rosa and one other, only because I saw your face, Rosa, in the little heart. Thanks for that. So I'm just gonna wait to see in the comment bar. Go ahead and post a comment so that I can see that it's working. And there we go. Thanks, Suzanne. Awesome. So anybody that has a question, hi Rosa. Yes, I knew that was your face. And Christiana, salut toi. I surprised Christiana this week because I speak French and we had a reading over the phone, and I think I shocked her a little bit, which was super fun. So what, do you guys have any questions we want to focus on today? I know I have, when I start doing readings, Rachel Deist is one, and Nancy Normile that I don't know if they'll make the call today or not, but they requested, or they had questions about it, oh gosh, probably a month ago now, and they've been very patient waiting for me to do this again. So I am going to honor them with a quick little reading. I see there's like 6 of you out there, so feel free if you have a question to pop it in there. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and start. If I am doing a reading, I'm just going to close my eyes. Don't flip out about that, so that I can focus and share that information with that person. And so I'm going to start with Rachel Deist because I know that she was wanting that information, and I definitely want to honor her with that and her patience in getting around to it. So I'm going to just tune in for Rachel Deist and share with her. Rachel, you have a very soft feminine dragon guide working with you right now. It is pinkish purple, really beautiful, soft feminine energy, and it feels like you just need to be surrounded in softness right now, that she's walking with you to work with you, actually nurturing yourself a bit more, and learning how to take time out for you and soften into what that can look like, what that means. Let go of the busy, let go of the need to for everybody else. That she's here to try and help you find that nurturing nest where you can replenish you, so that you don't actually go overkill and end up sick or injured because you're not taking care of you and meeting everyone else's needs. So this beautiful soul, she's actually been around you quite a lot, but that's what her focus is for you right now. And I'm gonna just get a name or a string of sounds that she works with so that you can connect with her more directly. She is winged. She has a shimmery white, almost opalescent, or like the inside of an abalone shell type feel, that shimmery opalescence, but pink to purple, and a really soft, very similar to the coloring actually in the image that I chose for the graphic for today's readings. A lot of pink and very soft purple, a little bit deeper purple moving into like a midline purple, not a deep indigo or anything like that, but on the edges of her wings and some markings down her neck. But otherwise it's a very soft pink purple, and her energy it's not a real solid formal lines. Her energy is very etheric, or more energetic, as if she's not necessarily walking in a full physical dragon form, like sometimes we see very clearly their lines delineated. She's got real fuzzy lines, so I feel like she's definitely more in the energetic realms and possibly from the rainbow realms, which has just started coming in lately. So her name for you, Girandra, is what's coming. Girandra. And she's saying you can call her Andrea for short if that's too hard to say. And our dragons do always have a sense of humor. So, Rachel, I hope that assists you. Deb Hill, hello, hello. Christiana is watching. And I'm just going to go back through these in case there was a bunch of comments while I was reading. So there's Rosa, there's Christiana, bonjour, Suzanne. I read that the next wipeout of the human race will be fire. Do you feel the fire dragons are stronger? The next wipeout of the human race will be fire. So Suzanne, just the first image that comes up, and I love that question. It's very interesting and it's really out of like not what I was expecting. So I love that. When I read the question, the first thing that comes up is the supervolcanoes. And I have long felt the supervolcanoes are going to be the real, like, demolition, destruction, like when it's time to move into full energy bodies, and the planet's time to go, that it would be the supervolcanoes, which are the two fire dragons, the male and the female. The male being under Yellowstone, and the female being under in Indonesia, under Bali and Sumatra. And do I feel they're stronger? No, I feel that they have a capacity, because the strength of all the dragons is so incredible, but they have, just like we do, our strengths are in different realms, our strengths are in different zones or territories of our body, and theirs, yes, is this explosive, expansive powerhouse, right? And so they're the ones sitting under and holding the energy of those supervolcanoes, and you can actually feel and see tectonically how they're breathing with them. Because I know I lived in Wyoming for almost 10 years, and actually the dragon work came through while I was just finishing Wyoming, but it started for me in Wyoming. That's where my healing work came through. So I was in the greater ecosystem of the Yellowstone Park in Lander. And so I was very aware of and following the volcanic activity around there with the supervolcanoes, and the lake level of Yellowstone Lake, the bottom depth kept rising, and so the lake was becoming shallower, but it wasn't because there was water disappearing from the surface. The bottom was actually rising as if the plate underneath it was starting to push up, and they've been measuring that for quite some time, and that's where I started to really connect with the energy and the information about it, the supervolcano, and looking into that. And there is some information online if you look up the supervolcanoes. So no, I don't feel they're stronger. They do have a capacity in that, and they are going to be sort of in charge of that piece when it's time for the Earth to shift. But all of the dragons are going to have a play. You know, the tsunamis and the hurricanes and the things that the other dragons with earthquakes, with the earth dragons, any of the dragons when they move, the larger ones, the dragons of Mu I'm talking about that are in the tectonic plates, are creating earthquakes and shift that are destruction, that are bringing new higher vibrations into dense places that are, you know, falling into rubble or having these major catastrophes happen. And not to sound unloving or uncaring or lacking in compassion for the beings that live there, but understanding it on a higher plane, just what's happening. Sort of like Hurricane Katrina when it came through New Orleans. It was, you know, that's my early childhood was in New Orleans. It's very dear to my heart. But no, I wasn't living there. And the frequency of that place has changed radically when you go back and visit there after Hurricane Katrina and before. Because all of that old Caribbean voodoo, dark arts, magic stuff, that was still held there. That energy was still in that place, and I feel it's like really gone. So they all have a part to play. So some of them are actually activating some things now. We've had a lot more tornado and typhoon activity with the air dragons. We've actually had touchdown of tornado on Lake Tahoe, just south of Lake Tahoe. At the very end of it, there was a lake that I backpacked by last summer that was demolished in like 2 hours. There were crazy like trees falling down and torrential rain and downpour that there were huge mudslides, and we had to like find our way across the rubble on the trail, and it was just the day before we hiked through there. That doesn't happen in this area. It was incredible. So sorry, oh my finger, I'm just gonna try and move the comments up. Hi, I'm Inger, would love a short drag reading. Okay, Inger, hang on to that. Michael's watching. Hi, Michael. Deb Hill. Michael. Hyacinth Kim. Hi, Hyacinth. Nice to see you. And Kayla. Always good to see you there, Kayla. Hope you're doing well. I'd love a short dragon reading if possible. Okay, so Inger and Hyacinth. And then I'll just keep scrolling down from there. So Inger, I'm going to go back so I can see your last name here. Inger Arns. All right, so Inger, I hope you're still listening. If not, that you'll catch the replay later. Oh, there's a heart. Love it. Thanks, Inger. So let's go in and get Inger. Quick dragon reading, Inger Arns. Yours is immediately coming in yellow. Beautiful, hot, sunny yellow. Very happy yellow. Let me just tune in because typically yellow and orange are air dragon relatives. I'm feeling this is more related to the sun energy. So one of the solar dragon family definitely is. I do that big, huge, beaming orange heart. And actually double set of wings, Inger, for you. I'm seeing that this dragon has 2 sets of wings, similar to like a dragonfly would. That the larger wings are the first set and a smaller set behind that. Scales all the way down the tail, very much like a crocodile on the back with the ridges like a crocodile has down all the way down the tail. Not a large dragon, one of the smaller dragons that I've seen, so would probably fit, wouldn't necessarily fit in your living room. I'm thinking 20, 25 feet tall. You might feel their presence around the backyard or in the house. But this dragon's working with you right now about radiance, about showing you, helping you connect to the sun as an aspect and nature as an aspect, that's a place for you to really soak up and access higher codes for you, access some of your deeper truth, and awakening that is by being out in nature and really connecting to things in nature, specifically with sun. That the sun for you is an important tool, and it's about finding your own radiance. And when you become that sun, like this, and I just said she, what is she? I'm just going to tune and get her name. Sundara, it's a very long string, but Sundara is a short string of sounds that you can use to connect with her. And it is a her, and she's wanting to connect with you heart to heart from this brilliant orange radiant sun that she has in her heart space, and start sharing information that way with you. So hopefully that gives you a little insight. Beautiful, lovely to meet Sundara. And you, Inger, welcome. I know we haven't necessarily met before. Hyacinth, okay. So I'm just tuning in real clearly here, Hyacinth, because immediately there's a very metallic look and feel. So I want to get more accuracy before I describe if it's truly just a color or if it's one of the metallic dragons. And it's coming in as definitely one of the metallics. There's been a few images posted in the group that might really connect deeply for you. There's It's a tarnished silver looking with black edging markings, so almost like you would see breastplates or armor plates of old knights, the knights, the armor of that knights used to wear, where it's been worn and aged for a long time, and so it's got black around the edging, just by the way the metal tarnishes and ages, moving into grays and hues and a bit shinier on all the scales. Very much lots of scales, very defined body shape, male. And when it's seen, he actually shifts between, I'm just waiting to see, he shows me one head, but then he shows me two. So I'm seeing if he's actually a shapeshifter where he can either have one or two, or if he's just presenting one and then the other. So I am seeing two distinct heads, so that you can feel both sides and both aspects of him. And I feel like he's been called to you specifically to help you work on your internal male aspect, and that you actually carry those two, that you're not embodying them fully, and so he's here to help you do that. One is this like protective piece that he's trying to help you break down, this shielding that you carry, and so he's here to show you that you don't need protection, you don't need armor. He's got your armor for you. He's like, let me take care of that for you, so that I can show you the true masculine. And then he switches to his other side and shows me that, you know, this big, solid, very in his power, but you know, the truest masculine is the most gentle, embodied power, moving forward and giving from a really strong, centered place of knowing truly who he is, just standing firm of, this is what I have to give, and I'm giving it fully with no expectation, no demand, just my presence. And it's a very formidable presence, and that you have that peace inside of you that you're not connecting to yet. So this protection aspect has been holding you back and keeping you from that, and you know, letting other people in to see that. And so really it's about coming to knowing the truth of this core of you that he wants to help you bring out. So let me just get a name for him. Korohan. I kept hearing that there might be a T in there, Kortohan, but Korohan is going to be the sound that you can connect directly, and as a nickname, Kurt. That's where the T is coming in. So Korohan or Kurt would be happy to be in service for you. So that's for you, Hyacinth. I hope that gives you a little insight into what's going on for you and why he's walking with you. Hello, Anna Berg. Nice to see you. Yes, there's a lot of movement of the plates at the moment. I know, Deb, there is. There's, and I've been watching it for a long time, but it definitely seems like it's stepped up. And, you know, part of me always questions and says, well, is it stepped up because we're more aware of it and have better tools to really measure it all? But there's an inner part of me that knows that, you know, there's more to it. There's something happening. So Anna Berg would also love a reading if possible. Okay, hi Londa, good to see you. Suzanne, gonna read up. Love to hear what my dragons have to say too. Michael, I'm gonna spank you. You already know what your dragons have to say. When you say that dragon guides are sort of similar to us in their personality, temperament, like an extension of us in the dragon realm. Christiana, that's a great question. And before I do your reading, Anna, I'm going to just address that because it is a great question. There are similarities, and as you see in the readings, they are here to remind you of aspects of yourself. So there are the guides that show up to work with you right now are called in because of the energies that you're not owning, that you're not stepping into and addressing. And so it's like your soul has an agreement, and if you're a dragon heart and a dragon embodied, then you're definitely sending lines of energy out saying, okay, this is where I need help. And so these dragons show up, just like our angelic guides or our guide and guardian that are in human form. They are there because they have the deepest connection or experience with what we need to move through on our path in the next phase. So they're going to be there to take us through it. If they're not living it, if that's not a part of themselves, then how can they take us through it? So yes, we do draw to ourselves those beings that are ready to take us to the next step, and our guides shift and change as we actually step into those pieces of ourselves and do all the healing work and move forward into it. And then we open up to something new, or we're interested by and fascinated by something new, and then some new guides can come in and assist us down that part of the path. So it's those guides that know that part of the path or that part of ourselves that they can help bring it out. They're here in service. They're trying to help you get to you. They're trying to help you get to the highest and best aspect of you. So yes, there are going to be very similar characteristics, but usually they're characteristics that we don't know about within ourselves or aren't really fully living. And that's why they're showing up. So I'm going to go back to Anna, and I just want to go back and find your last name again. Anna Berg, beautiful. And I love all these comments. I'm so excited to see so many people on. Isabel, hello. Nice to see you. Deb Hill, I sense the energies are intensifying again. The dragons have anything to say about what's going on. Oh, you're so welcome, Inger. I'm glad it was spot on. And Hyacinth, amazing that you, thank you so much, and for introducing me to Kodohan, wonderful. So we're probably close to cut up. I'm going to leave my comment string here on Deb's question. And I'm going to go in for a quick reading for Anna Berg. Hello, Anna. Nice to meet you. All right, let's tune in, Anna. Ooh, your dragon is walking with you. You must be aware of him, her. It's actually it is one of the dragons that's merged fully masculine, feminine, very flamboyant, bright red, showing up right away. Almost like a flamingo dancer red, and this real style to it of showiness and hey, haha, look at me. Very fun. Your dragon is very fun, Anna. Thank you so much for allowing me to introduce myself to him, her. And I'm seeing it is very balanced. So I'm seeing a very androgynous form in that, yes, they're showy on one side or the other, but almost like the male can be in a drag queen and be very comfortable in that, and the female can be very strong in her masculine. So they very much walk the line of androgyny in their center line balance. And so let me just tune in on what their presence and they're working with you on, and their name for you. Sorry. The dragons have a great sense of humor, and sometimes I meet them sort of like, I'm going to just share this, Christiana, who's on the call, because I got to meet her dragon Leo recently in her reading, and he's as funny as this one. So, Anna, your dragon is saying, well, call me Houdini. And he likes to disappear. He loves to do disappearing acts, and he's trying to show you how to disappear. So this is very interesting because sometimes I work with clients who are invisible, or they feel invisible, or they are so comfortable hiding and being invisible that they don't step out and show themselves. And your dragon is actually working on showing you how to be less visible and to actually own your silent internal space, and that you don't have to be outwardly flamboyant or expressive in a huge degree to touch people. That you actually have some huge capacity of radiating energy, and I'm feeling like you might be, if you're not in healing work, you'd be very aligned to it. You have a capacity coming through your hands, and I'm seeing this even with your dragon as he stands, she stands on hind appendages, looking up, sort of like a puppy would, sitting up like this, this immense amount of energy that can flow through your hands. And so with a tendency to be very talkative with your hands and very expressive and very outward, that Houdini is actually making a joke about that, saying, yes, I'm flamboyant, but watch me. And it's almost like if you're familiar with Harry Potter and that invisibility cloak that Harry Potter can put on and disappear, that he's trying to show you how to do that. Not so much to hide yourself, but to bring it down a notch so that you are actually able to connect on a deeper level, that you allow by softening that and stepping back just a hair and covering up some of that brilliance that comes out, just like Houdini, that he is here to show you how to tone it down in a way that makes you more approachable, so that people coming to you can actually feel all of this incredible energy and healing that you have radiating from you and actually take it in. Because right now, just like Houdini, I look and it's, you know, you just get so overtaken by what you're watching because it's entertaining that some of the message gets lost. So that's what Houdini is here to work with you. And I'm just going to tune in and see if Houdini is what he's sticking with, because I know that was a joke, but yeah, it's sort of a play on words. So Diniatha is the true name, which is very hard to pronounce. So yes, Houdini works, but Diniatha is the name that's officially coming. So wonderful. Thanks for that. I love these dragon readings because they're always so random and so fun. And I'm just going to check in here. Let's see. Your question, Deb. I sense the energies are intensifying again. Do the dragons have anything to say about what's going on? Or what's going to happen around the end of March this year? That's very interesting that you bring that up and that you specifically said the end of March, because what I've been feeling, and I talked about this in one or two other videos, I think I remember it coming through, and it might have been just with friends, because as psychics, we're the American Federation of Certified Psychics and Mediums, they put out a magazine every year where some of the psychics are asked what their prediction is for the year. And I've never really, I don't tune into that much. I am part of that federation now, but I haven't ever put much thought into going too far into the future. And maybe it's just because of things in the past and then things were mitigated and things didn't happen. But what has been coming through informationally for me, and that I've shared with a few people, is this gut feeling for me that there's a big wave coming in April that's going to last about 2 years coming in. And I could be absolutely wrong. This is just what kept flowing out of my mouth and felt so right and so right on, that, you know, the harmonic convergence was in 1987. And that was this huge wave of love coming from Mother, Father, God, from Central Source, the Greater Central Sun. And as those waves that are coming more and more regularly, you know, they started coming back in the Dark Ages, and they're just, it's like a frequency band that's starting to, the wave is coming with shorter spans in between. So as it comes through Earth, things happen. And so the harmonic convergence in 87 was this whole new level of enlightenment and awareness and energy that came in. And as that came in, all of a sudden there's all these books and writings being channeled, people stepping out. I'm trying to remember the actress's name right now, that sort of got scorned in Hollywood because she was claiming to be a psychic and a channel, and you know, her information was incredible. And anyway, so that's when, like, all of a sudden you go back to early 90s, and yes, there were channelings, Edgar Cayce and those guys back in the 1910s, 1920s, even late 1800s, where small circles were happening, and there were, you know, intermittent, oh, here's a book from this guy, and here. But all of a sudden in early 1990s, after this harmonic convergence wave came through, all these psychic gifts start opening for people, right? So I'm seeing it as something similar to that, where it's going to take about 2 years for the energies to actually integrate and assimilate into the planet, but that it's going to start in April. And so that you're saying that you've been feeling things intensifying, and what's going to happen around the end of March this year. I would say that it's sort of, I feel like it's a closing. I feel like it's a doorway closing and a brand new opening, which I find interesting with the timing of the Dragonheart program that's starting up March 21st. Because when I sat with that, and that started coming in early, like November, December, coming into my sphere of awareness. Then when I sat and really got the dates and everything to start, and everything with the dragons works in trines. So I was shown the trine of beings that with me are working to bring it through and anchor it. The dates came through and I just wrote them down. And I wrote down, March 21 and then December 21. Didn't even realize till later, and I went, oh, 321. The numbers fit. They're all trines. They're all triples of threes. And at the same time, I went, oh my God, March 21st, that's the equinox. That's the spring equinox. And December 21st, that's the winter solstice. So there's something powerful about that timing of that whole cycle kicking off. And so I think it's related with this new shift and a closing out of the cycle we've been in now and moving into a higher vibrational frequency of energies coming in that we're ready for. That those that are already healers, that are already psychics, that are already aware of the gifts, that there's going to be another level of expansion to that capacity. I know that I've had downloads of codes in the last 2 months especially that are very intense, that the book club meditations we've been doing have been very intense and powerful for people, because it's like the prep time for that. If I just feel like everything, yes, is intensifying in that way. Do I think that that's going to mean the destruction of the planet? No, I don't feel that. I feel like that has been absolutely mitigated. I really don't see those super volcanoes that we talked about earlier stepping into play until really we're in our light bodies and Gaia's full ascension happens. And at that point, when Gaia can ascend and bring her light body in, then there's no need for the physical planet anymore. And that's when it can happen. But nobody will be affected negatively by that because they'll already be in their light bodies. Those that are going by choice anyway. So I hope that answers. And I know that as I'm talking, there's probably comments or questions coming up about the subject. So I'm going to stroll down and just see. Yep, I also feel there's more happening in association with movement of the plates. Thank you. Absolutely, Deb. Great questions. I'm so pleased to see you too. I know you're down in Australia. Michael gives a big smile. Shirley McLean, thanks Rosa. There it is. Beautiful. So we're actually not too far from being caught up on the comments. Amazing. Thank you so much with all my heart. You're reading. Sorry. Wow, I got a phone call. I never get phone calls when I'm doing this. But hey, life is life, right? Your reading was scary accurate. The color of Dinatha, the part about my hands, yes, simply everything. I will take my message to heart. Amazingly, truly. Rachel Deist, I'm here now, but I think you may be finishing up. You know what, Rachel? Watch the replay because I did the first reading for you. Honed in just for you. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, Ray, for answering my question. I see the similarities with Leo, but without taking other people's reading time, I'd be curious to know why Leo is with me at this time. What do I have to learn, work on at this moment? So if I don't get to that, Christiana, I will email you later. And Amy Robertson, who is my dragon. Wow, I'm caught up to the comments. Fabulous. Can anyone tell me what time it is? Absolutely, Deb. Somebody post me the time right now because my phone doesn't show. All I can see is me on screen, and there I am, 105. Perfect, Michael. Thank you so much. So I will finish with a quick Amy Robertson, and actually I need to go into, I wanted to do Nancy Normile too, so I'll finish with those two. And thank you guys for coming on. I love these. I hope it's been fun and interesting for you, and I love that the people that are willing to have a reading online, sort of publicly, there's personal information, but it's also beautiful, and so I love that you're willing to do that. So let's see, Amy Robertson. Let's tune in with your dragon real quick. Vibration, let's see. I'm going to have to read those comments in a second. So, Amy Robertson and then Nancy Normile. We'll be done with dragon readings. I'll do the last of the questions, and then we'll quit for today. Amy, I'm seeing a very soft brownish green earth dragon connected to you right now. It's not a winged dragon, it is a serpentine form, but has short appendages to move through and go through the earth, but also walk on the earth. So you probably have a strong connection to caves, digging. There's something in the earth for you, and there's a Native American connection that I'm seeing for you of sacred sites where this dragon can be called to work with around Native American sacred sites. Or, gosh, it feels almost Aboriginal, so I don't know where you are in the world. But that there's the native peoples of the land where you live, that you'll be able to connect, especially most deeply. But there's something that you have to bring with that this earth dragon is here to help you connect. And I'm feeling something with your voice, with chanting or singing and drumming, that if you do sweat lodges or get invited to sweat lodges, that bringing this dragon into play in the field would be beneficial, not only for you, but for everyone in the lodge. That even though the fire and the heat of a sweat lodge gets built, that it's the earth dragon underneath it that's holding the energy, and that's a deep connection for you. So you might just explore some of the roots of the native peoples around your area, and let me just get a name for you on this. Watatonka. Watatonka is the name that's coming, and yeah, that if you're not doing drumming or don't have a drum, then that might be something to look into for you in connecting more deeply with that energy specifically. So let's see. Oh, Isabel, thank you. All right, I just want to answer all the questions. The vibration of the earth is at its highest. Any thoughts on when the next jump will be? So Suzanne, I don't know if that question came before or after what I just talked about with the shift coming in April, the wave that I see coming that's going to last about 2 years. So I would say that sometime during that 2 years that we're going to be making a big jump in consciousness. Amy. Yeah, Amy, since you're right there, I would love to know where you're from so I could tune in more deeply with that specific Native people's energy. And then I'm going to go into a reading for Nancy. Absolutely. So now I'm so glad you guys joined on. It was super fun to have so many people on the call. And so I'm just going to close off with a reading for Nancy Normile. And she's beautiful periwinkle blue coming in, winged cobalt periwinkle. Very connected to sapphire dragon energy, which is group alchemy. So Nancy, there's in working with this dragon, and you can call her periwinkle. That there's some work for you in opening yourself up to groups, in opening yourself up to really sharing and being comfortable in sharing in group settings, that you actually have a dynamic leadership role that she's trying to help you come into and pull out of you. I see her actually working and just being around you and like pulling threads and trying to pull away these things that are blocking you from your comfort zone in stepping in front of groups, because you have an energy frequency that comes through on your voice just in talking. I don't know if you're teaching or sharing with groups at this point. I'm seeing groups of teenagers specifically that as she works and sits with you, that she's trying to help you pull these pieces of yourself out that are not willing to go there fully yet, or don't believe in yourself yet fully enough to share to the depths that you can in these circles. So if you want to connect with her more deeply, just envision sitting in front of this beautiful periwinkle cobalt blue dragon. She's about 20 feet high, nice long neck, stunning cobalt eyes, and you can call her periwinkle. Is the easiest thing to reproduce sound-wise. And that she wants to connect, and she wants you to hold your hands out specifically when you're working with her, that she wants to actually lay her talons, her paws, paw to paw, hand to hand with you. So if you can lay your hands out when you're working with her, because she transmits things that way that are going to help heal and move energy through your body, that's going to shift some of the dynamic that's keeping you from really using this gift that you have with groups, especially groups of young people. So hopefully that's helpful for Nancy. And Amy Robertson, I grew up in Long Beach on the Gulf Coast. Hi Jen, I didn't realize you were there. Nice to see you. Would love a short reading if you have time. You know what, Deb? I apologize. I'm going to hold you until the next one. Mississippi. Oh, that's right. Yes, my Mississippi connection. So there are. Okay, that would make sense then, because there are some native sites down around there, and Algonquins come in for some reason, but you know, I've been wrong before with actual names, so maybe I won't go there. So Deb, I'm going to save you for the next time, or I will do a tune-in later and email you something. So if I don't have your email, Deb, I know we've been in touch, and I'm not really, yes, I do have your email because you have an application, so I will send you a quick email. Last question, Christiana. What type of gem do you have around your neck? So beautiful. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you asked. Because this is amazing. I got this in Machu Picchu when I was there, and it's a serpentine stone only found in Machu Picchu, and the dragon energy in it is incredible. And the reason that I picked it up, you know, when I was in Machu Picchu, the entire, you know, it's up on a hilltop. The entire thing was like a giant dragon cave. I mean, there were thousands of dragons held in that place waiting to be released, and the doorway opened when I was there, and you know, thousands went up and out and up and out, so now they're free to come and go. But this actual stone, it's a serpentine stone from the Machu Picchu site, so I was really excited because I picked it out and I didn't know, and then the guy told me what it was, and it made so much sense of why I was drawn to it. So awesome. So Deb, I am going to send you a short dragon reading, and Christiana, what he's working on with you right now. If I forget to do that, please email me, Christiana, and remind me, because I don't want to let that loose thread go. I want to follow up on that. So I'm going to wish you guys a great afternoon. This was super fun. Thanks for being here and your willingness to share with the group and be read live. Hopefully it gives you a deeper connection and starts opening some things for you. And be aware, you know, if you need to go deeper or want some assistance in moving forward, I do one-on-one sessions. I do 20-minute full dragon readings. We have got a book club going on, and the biggest thing coming up is the Dragon Heart, the Way of the Dragon Heart program that starts March 21st. So if you're feeling called to that at all, need more information, definitely email or message me, because it's going to hit your heart. If you are one of the 9 that was called to it, you're going to know it and be like, I need more information there. So please message me and get a hold of me. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was so much fun. I love seeing you guys all the time, and I will see you in the group. And we'll see you next week for another, I don't know what subject next week. I get inspired. Bye.